So, I just found out that the Bible is really fucked up, man. Like, there's some things that I found in here before that are kind of funny and amusing, like Noah's daughters seducing him and getting him drunk and then having sex with their own dad, and God said that it was good. And the genocide that God allowed to have been committed against the Canaanites, the Palestinians of the original land. And God thought that was so good. Genocide is good. Incest is good. Pedophilia is good. But don't have, homosexual relations because that's bad. But also don't have incest unless you're Noah. And then it's okay. And so I was just going to kind of do one of those. And I happened to find this really fucked up passage in Leviticus 44 that allows people to have slaves. And I did a little short on it, and I uploaded it. And I'll read it real quick just so you understand why this is so fucking weird. Because this is the last straw with me in the Old Testament. The New Testament might be real, maybe, but the Old Testament is for shit. Fuck the Old Testament. So Leviticus 44 says, and I'll show this to you so you can see it, hopefully. But I can't see this, so if you can't read it off of this phone, it's because I can't see the camera. Okay, I'm just going off of intuition here, but I'm going to read this off to you. Okay, Leviticus 44. And as for your male and female slaves whom you may have from the nations that are around you, from them you may buy male and female slaves. Moreover, you may buy the children of the slave. Moreover, you may buy the children. Just read that in the Bible and tell me, is the Bible holy? Moreover, you may buy the children of the strangers who dwell among you and their families who are with you, which they beget in your land, and they shall become your property. And you may take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them as a possession. They shall be your permanent slaves. But regarding your brethren, the children of Israel, you shall not rule over one another with rigor. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I immediately uploaded it. And I know my dad, hi Dad, I know you're watching these. I hope you do, because you got some splaining to do. Oh, Lucy, you got some splaining to do. So I thought, oh, okay, wait a minute. Maybe this is being taken out of context. Maybe this is one of those Philistines in the area that's just saying this to Moses, and Moses is just about to say, no, right? So I thought maybe the context is off. Maybe it's somebody else. Nope, it's Moses. Right, check this out. If you go back to the beginning of the chapter, which is Leviticus chapter 25, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Leviticus chapter 25. Leviticus chapter 25, verse 44 is the one that I just read. And as for your male and female slaves whom you may have, that Leviticus 25, 44. If we go back to the beginning of that chapter, I'll read this too. Chapter 25. And this is the Holy Bible, okay? This isn't something placed by the Gideons. It's a real Bible. I didn't doctor this. I didn't rewrite it. It's the same Bible that anybody has, but this goddamn book is so big that most people have never been able to fucking read it. And apparently the ones that have just don't say anything about this type of thing. I want to talk about this. What the fuck is this? Leviticus chapter 25. And the Lord spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai, saying, okay, so let's just keep that in context. And we'll read the whole thing, and then I'm going to go back and read it again. Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, when you come into the land which I gave you, then the land shall keep a Sabbath to the Lord. 6 years you shall sow your field, and 6 years you shall prune your vineyard, and gather its fruit. But in the 7th year there shall be a Sabbath of solemn rest for the land, a Sabbath to the Lord. You shall neither sow your field, nor prune your vineyard. What grows of its own accord of your harvest you shall not reap, nor gather the grapes of your untended vine, for it is a year of rest for the land. And the Sabbath produce of the land shall be food for you, your male and female servants, your hired man, and the stranger who dwells with you. For your livestock and the beasts that are in your land, all its produce shall be for food. And you shall count 7 Sabbaths of years for yourself, 7 times 7 years, and the time of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be to you 49 years. Then you shall cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month. On the Day of Atonement you shall make the trumpet to sound throughout all your land. And you shall consecrate the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land to all its inhabitants. It shall be a jubilee for you, and each of you shall return to his possession, and each of you shall return to his family. That 50th year shall be a jubilee to you. In it you shall neither sow nor reap what grows of its own accord, nor gather the grapes of your untended vine. For it is the jubilee, it shall be holy to you. You shall eat its produce from the field. In this year of Jubilee, each of you shall return to his possession. And if you sell anything to your neighbor or buy from your neighbor's hand, you shall not oppress one another. According to the number of years after the Jubilee, you shall buy from your neighbor, and according to the number of years of crops he shall sell to you. According to the multitude of years you shall increase its price, and according to the fewer number of years you shall diminish its price. For he sells to you according to the number of the years of the crops. Therefore you shall not oppress one another, but you shall fear your God, for I am the Lord your God. So you shall observe my statutes and keep my judgments and perform them, and you will dwell in the land in safety. Then the land will yield its fruit, and you will eat your fill, and dwell there in safety. And if you say, what shall we eat in the 7th year, since we shall not sow nor gather in our produce? Then I will command my blessing on you in the 6th year, and it will bring forth produce enough for 3 years. And you shall sow in the 8th year, and eat old produce until the 9th year, until its produce comes in. You shall eat of the old harvest. The land shall not be sold permanently, for the land is mine, for you are strangers and sojourners with me. And in all the land of your possession you shall grant redemption of the land. If one of your brethren becomes poor and has sold some of his possession, and if his redeeming relative comes to redeem it, then he may redeem what his brother sold. Or if the man has no one to redeem it, but he himself becomes able to redeem it, then let him count the years since its sale, and restore the remainder to the man to whom he sold it, that he may return to his possession. But if he is not able to have it restored to himself, then what was sold shall remain in the hand of him who bought it until the year of Jubilee. And in the Jubilee it shall be released, and he shall return to his possession. Okay, so here's some context. So I've noticed it says this twice in here about the Jubilee. So, and you shall consecrate the 50th year and proclaim liberty throughout all the land to all its inhabitants. Okay. And each of you shall return to his possession, and each of you shall return to his family. That 50th year shall be a jubilee to you. In it you shall neither sow nor reap what grows. Okay. Okay, so jubilee. So let's see. So what the hell? And you shall count 7 Sabbaths of years for yourself, 7 times 7 years, and the time of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be for you 49 years. Then you shall cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month. Okay, so this is every 50 years. This isn't one time. See, I was hoping that what it would say is, okay, so I'm going to give you the ability to own slaves, but only until the year of Jubilee, at which point then they have to go back to their families. But no, that's not what it says. It says every 50 years there's a year of Jubilee. And we'll double check that too, just to make sure we understand the full context of Leviticus 25:44, because I don't know what the fuck to think right now. Okay, and it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and then it finally gets to the point. Yeah, see, it really is quite clear. Leviticus 25:39, and if one of your brethren who dwells by you becomes poor and sells himself to you, You shall not compel him to serve as a slave. As a hired servant and as a sojourner he shall be with you, and shall serve you until the year of Jubilee. And then he shall depart from you, he and his children with him. He shall return to his own family. He shall return to the possession of his fathers. For they are my servants, whom I brought out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as slaves. You shall not rule over him with rigor, but you shall fear your God. And as for your male and female slaves, whom you may have from the nations that are around you, from them you may buy male and female slaves. So no, this is quite explicit. This is not to be taken out of context or have someone claim that this is bullshit in some way, or that it's going to get better one day or something like that. No, there is a serious fucking issue here. It says it right there in the Bible that you can have slaves just as long as they're not Jewish. Well, that really does explain quite a lot, doesn't it? I mean, isn't that interesting? What do we find at the top of the hierarchy is Zionist communists who own child sex slaves. It says that they can right there in Leviticus 25. Coincidence?